Welcome to It All Starts With You. I'm your host, Eileen Lemelman, licensed clinical social worker, best-selling author, and motivational speaker. We'll share stories of hope, perseverance, and success that will inspire you to live a meaningful life. This show will motivate you, educate you, and encourage you to manifest your dreams into reality at any age. Because it all starts with you. Now on to the show. Hello, hi there, my friends. Welcome to It All Starts With You. You know, women have a really complicated relationship with money. Well, it doesn't surprise me because, you know, through civilization, through history, women have had little power. So, of course, we have really a difficult time with dealing with money because we were never given money to use. So, but, you know, I will say that over the last few generations, things have changed. Things are changing. And, you know, women are becoming more autonomous, earning more money, and really having to learn how to deal with and handle and really get comfortable with money, which is a very difficult situation for a lot of people, and women especially. But, you know, we can't really talk about money without looking at where we came from and our homes and the parents that really brought us up and the mindset that we had in our families. I know for me, my parents were post, World War II. They were Depression era babies. And so they always had a scarcity mindset. We were always told, that the whole thing in my house was, we can't afford it. Or, oh no, we're not going to have enough money to buy that. Or, that's too expensive, we can't get that. And so there was always this feeling of, worry about money and a lot of arguing about money. There was always fighting about money. And then, of course, we have to look at how did our mothers handle money, right? So, women and money, I don't know. In my family, my father earned the money. He gave my mother an allowance. He paid the bills. And so if she overspent or if she spent too much in credit cards, there was always fighting. And so there wasn't this positive mindset around money. No wonder why me, along with a lot of other women in my generation, and even just in other generations, have a really difficult time dealing with money and having a really healthy, relationship with money. Well, today I decided to invite somebody who can help us with all of that. So today my guest is Brett Landsman, certified public accountant. He is with the firm Palermo, Landsman and Ross down in Fort Lauderdale or Cooper City, South Florida. And he's here to help us talk about and get comfortable with and learn about how we can really approach money in a healthier way. He deals with all different kinds of audits and IRS and corporations and all different kinds of really high-end things having to do with money. But he also deals with the average person like you and me and helps them deal with their issues around paying taxes, around how to save money, around real estate investments, around life changes. And so it's really good to have an expert, really good to have someone educated and has an expertise in money. And so let's welcome Brett Landsman.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Brett.
Hi.
So listen, it's good to have an accountant in the family. All right, there's a little bit of nepotism going on here. This is my very sweet and adorable son-in-law, and he has agreed to come in not only because he loves me.
Yeah. Yes, that's number one.
But because he's got a lot to offer and a lot to say about how we can start having a healthy relationship with money. So Brett, what's the first thing that you tell somebody who comes into you and is overwhelmed with their finances? They don't even know where to start. What do you do with them? How do you deal with that?
So it all starts with you, the name of the show. And so when someone comes into the office, or we do a Zoom call or teleconference, it all starts with the client or potential client. And I just take it slow with the client to unwind exactly what the client's going through. You have to have a lot of empathy too. You have to have a lot of understanding of where someone's at, the relationship that they have with their significant other, with money, where they're at, if they own a business, if they don't own a business. And so I kind of do a lot of digging on the initial meeting, and then as I work with clients, for me, it's the relationship with the client, and I want it to be a long-term relationship.
Yeah, so that makes you really special because, somehow empathy and accounting don't always go together. So that makes you really special because you really want to know not only, look at the, profit and loss statement or, what's going in and what's coming out, but how they really are emotionally dealing with their money, right?
Yes.
People come in with a lot of fear, don't they?
Yes. When you have because there's, if you're married or, with somebody, you have the significant other, and then there's a silent partner called the IRS. It's the third person that's the elephant in the room that no one talks about. And so I help, try to steer you clear of that third partner and keep as much money away from that third partner as much as possible.
So how do you help people, set up that kind of an approach where, obviously they're going to, do what's by the law, but they're going to be saving money and they're going to have this budget or this overall approach to how do they save money? How do you do that with them?
So I've found, as far as saving money goes, there's a great book. I highly recommend it. I've read it multiple times. It's called The Automatic Millionaire. It's by David Bach. And, pretty much the essence of the book is to, set all these vehicles up automatically so you don't see it. So, if you're employed by a company and they offer a retirement plan, just set that up automatically where it comes out of your paycheck and it goes into the retirement fund. You don't see the money, you don't get the money. And other retirement vehicles can be set up within a business that you own or another type of retirement account. But setting all these things up in advance, if you have children and you have a college fund that you want to fund for them, and all these things come out of your bank account and fund these things on a monthly basis so that, at the end of the day, you have the retirement fund, you have your kids going to college, you have the wedding fund for your kids down the line. So it's more about what your vision is of what you want your life to be like and what you want where your money to go.
So that really works very well if you are working for a company and you get a weekly kind of salary. What about somebody who's self-employed and has to really set that up for themselves? How does that work?
It's a lot more dedication, especially when you're starting a business. Because a lot of entrepreneurs want to they want to keep the money in their business. They want to reinvest it. They want to buy stuff, and so having like an advisor like me and having multiple other advisors like a financial advisor and maybe even an attorney to help set up structures where funds can be set up in this automatic structure, maybe having like an operating account and having separate bank accounts for taxes, for trips, for various things, and you just don't touch those accounts until you're going to go on that trip, until you're going to go pay your tax bill. So these things are kind of aligned.
Yeah. As you're talking about that, I'm also thinking about how people have this guilt about spending money, right? And so even though you might set aside money for a vacation account, people feel guilty about spending money.
Right.
What do you say to that person who is always saving and then has this real kind of charged feeling around money and spending money?
I think, for me, I like to work hard and play hard, and so I love, taking my family on trips, and we've gone on vacations as a family together, and so I think it's what you value, and you need to, I think people need to, they're not clear on what they value, and so they feel bad because they really don't enjoy going on the trip. They'd rather work, and they listen to other people. Oh, well, you shouldn't go on that trip. I think you have to do what you really want to do, but you have to examine what that is for you.
I love that. Just finding your values.
Yeah.
And also, we're talking about balancing a checkbook and also balancing your life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How do we balance that all so that we can work hard, save money, feel secure, but also enjoy our life?
Yes. I don't think people know. I think balance is a word that's thrown out a lot, and I think people need to sit down, and it's hard to do, but you have to create the time in order to create financial freedom. And I created this formula because I love formulas and math, but and if this has been created before, I apologize to anyone out there that's created this, but I define financial freedom as your self-worth plus your monetary worth. That's equal to financial freedom. Because if you have no self-worth and all financial worth, then all you have is financial. If you have all self-worth and no financial worth, then it's just freedom.
Yes.
So you need both to go side by side. And so if you don't feel good about yourself, if you don't feel good about where you're at today, you're not going to enjoy the money at all. The most I've had very wealthy clients, and they're the most miserable people in the world because they can't enjoy the money because they don't.
That's true.
They have had some trauma in the past that they haven't dealt with. It's really deep down inside. So, in order to enjoy it and have the money, you have to. It has to be kind of that formula. You have to see which light and work on getting both that side of the pendulum up.
Do people respond to that? I mean, can you teach that to somebody?
I talk. I don't spell it out like that in the formula, but I just when I talk with clients, I kind of do a lot of encouragement and just listen. A lot of it's about listening. I mean, I've had some clients come in and there's a fear. They're overspending, and the spouse is concerned, and sometimes you'll find out that spending on certain items makes that person happy, and this is why the debt's been created, and you have to dig deeper than that, and but I only have a short window to really kind of shake the person up to see their reality and kind of change it for the better.
You have to wake them up and say, this is the reality, buddy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
You have I recommend 3 to 6 months of reserves, and you're on 3 to 6 days.
Yes.
And so that will shake somebody up,
Ooh, yeah.
and so, and that's where, when you go into that conversation, someone said, I'm like buying kids toys, and that's the only thing that makes me happy.
Right.
And I'm,
But what about the person who is more my age, right? And who, I don't know what the formula is for having enough savings for when you retire, but let's say, you realize you don't.
Yeah.
What would you tell that person? How would you help that person to save for retirement, or can they ever retire if they haven't done it by age 60 some odd years old?
It's a possibility. It depends on the person, and I think a lot of people, they don't really know how much they need to save in order to live the life that they want to live. I think people have, unfortunately, that self-worth part of that equation I was mentioning before. That self-worth it lowers because you're comparing yourself to other people, and so
say that equation again.
the self-worth plus monetary worth equals financial
I
freedom.
love that. That is so awesome. That's
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah, and
you
so
should definitely coin that phrase.
Yeah, hopefully, any viewers, please wait until I go to the patent office and trademark office to take care of that one. But no, I appreciate it. But yeah, I think people don't know what they really need to save, the exact
Yeah.
number. How many trips do you want to take per year? What is your rent? How often do you want to go out to eat? And and that formula is not, oh well, I should only do this. It's do the math as if this is exactly what I want. Then you back into, okay, I'm spending $100,000 a year, so I need to make $100,000 a year,
Right,
or I
right.
need to cut back if it's not realistic.
Right.
And so, that's, I think people, they have the emotion side, math's
It
not
makes
emotional.
so much
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier in the show, if you haven't been taught that
Yeah.
as a child, and when you don't have a good relationship with money, and you
Yeah.
don't really even know how to deal with it,
Yeah.
it's really hard to start doing that.
Yes.
Talking about not doing things and having a difficult time, I'm really interested about women who become widows or recently divorced and have always depended upon their husbands to take care of the bills and to take care of all the finances. And suddenly they come to you and they say, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Do you ever have that experience?
No, yeah, we have that. I mean, one thing I'll say is, a lot of the clients, I work with a lot of business owners, self-employed, and the women that I work with, I've seen like a shift, the shift that you were talking about earlier in the show, of really strong women that they almost lead, they're the quarterbacks of the financial situation in their household. And it's motivational for me to witness that. And when clients, look, there's an unfortunate thing, divorce is, makes up a big part of our culture, unfortunately. And obviously, it's death and taxes are the two certain things in life. And so, there is a fear. I mean, the one thing that, that can help prevent that is to, have the documents in place, like a will, or if a trust is appropriate, healthcare documents, and getting that, having your spouse and you have a discussion of, here are all the logins for the banking. Here's what no one wants to talk about those things,
Yes.
but you'll leave each other in better hands down the line if these things are taken care of. So sometimes
A lot of people don't want to talk about that because they don't want to talk about death, right?
Yeah, they don't want to talk about it.
They don't want to look at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, do you have somebody that you work with that you would refer to them?
Yeah.
Refer them to if they need to get will made or a trust made?
A lot of great people, out there that can help. I mean, I help identify, just by, I'll ask, hey, have you gotten your documents done? Have they been updated? And, and then you go from there.
Yeah. So, a lot of this is not only about helping people walk through the process, but you're also, like I said earlier, you're teaching them what they need to do, because some people are really ignorant about it. And it's not because they're stupid people, right?
Yeah.
And there's something that I learned when I was like preparing for you to come on the show. So there's IQ, there is intelligent quotient, how smart we are, and book knowledge and how much we know, and what is your IQ. Then there's EQ, which is my specialty, the emotional quotient, about how we're going to deal with our emotions, how we're going to deal with our feelings, how much insight and awareness and connection that we have. But then there's FQ, right? There's the financial quotient, which is what we're talking about.
Yes.
Did you ever hear of that?
No, I never heard of that. I've heard of IQ, and I have a medium IQ. And then,
I don't know. I don't believe that.
but I've heard of that. But that's an interesting thing to break that
So
up.
in other words, money management, and happiness, how do they intertwine?
I think they collide for sure. They collide, as I see it every day. But I think you have to have awareness in order to have, and you also have to take the awareness and responsibility to take the step forward that you need to, like, go through the finances. And sometimes it's overwhelming because, a lot of us, we've all been given gifts, and some people are just like, I don't want to think about it. But taking responsibility over your finances will propel you forward to enjoying the things that you want to enjoy in life, and it'll give you peace and comfort, and those emotions versus stress and resentment and a lot of negative feelings.
Yeah, we're talking about responsibility, stepping into like adult stuff.
Yeah.
Adulting is
Yes.
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so people maybe come into you and they're really childlike. They don't know what they're doing with their money.
Yeah. And they'll, I'll have newlyweds who got married, and husband or wife had a tax debt that, they owed $100,000 and they didn't know about it. Or they had, businesses that were going bankrupt, and secrets and all these things. And so communication is such a foundational piece to financial freedom too.
Yes.
And so you have to have a communication with your significant other and get them involved in the process when
And
you
you have
start
to have
combining.
good communication
Yeah.
with your accountant too.
And your accountant too, yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Because have you ever had somebody come in and then you find out a secret that they didn't tell you?
Oh yeah, it's been, it's and it's revealed together. It's I reveal it. It's not a fun situation, and I don't mind being the bad guy. I prefer the IRS to be that, but sometimes I have to play that role. But the goal of being the bad guy is to get the situation resolved and to move forward. I just want to see clients move forward, and a lot of people, it's like, I go back to that formula: self-worth plus monetary worth equals financial freedom. The self-worth, if there's a bad relationship that you have with your significant other or yourself, you're never going to take the responsibility to move forward, and you'll be stuck.
Yeah, so here we are in June.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like this lull time, right?
Yeah,
Because we had April 15th, where, is the big push to get it done, but then people sometimes have extensions.
Yeah.
And then we have to, deal with the extensions in October.
Right.
So in June, though, what should people be doing in order to prepare either for the extension or just for the next year? Because they've gotten through, April 15th, and now what do they got to do? What do they have to do to prepare?
So if people have already filed their taxes, I would definitely look at if you're employed, I would get a year-to-date pay stub and see what your taxes have been pulled out, see what's been taken out of your paycheck and what you've earned to date, and run some math to see what what the projected tax bill is going to be, and see if you're covered there. Because a lot of times I see people that don't withhold enough taxes, and then they get the big surprise come April 15th. So I definitely would recommend looking at your bill. Your pay stub.
What if you don't have enough money to pay your taxes?
You could set up like a payment plan with the
Okay,
IRS. I mean,
okay.
Penalties and interest accrue, but you could run a payment plan until
Okay.
you pay it off. But the goal is to not get ahead of it, so you
Right,
don't have
right.
that. And then if you have a business, looking at where the finances are today, seeing, what you can do to save taxes now. You have 6 months left, so you can make big purchases. You could set up a retirement plan now. And then that's for the business side. And on the personal, you can just take 1 month's worth of bank statements and credit card statements. If you haven't run the exercise at all of like, I don't know how much I bring home. I don't see the money. I don't know where it's going. Just pull the bank statement and credit cards and categorize everything out on an Excel sheet, a piece of paper, whatever your preference is, and it doesn't even have to be fancy. And you'll see incoming and outgoing. And you can see that's not even tax, that's just personal finance. And then you just take 1 month and you could see, okay, I may need to dig deeper. I've had this automatic subscription service that I don't even use anymore, and it's still coming out of my bank account. I could save $1,200 a month, something like that. So,
what's the advantage? I'm just thinking about the advantage of coming to somebody like you, as opposed to the corner tax preparer.
Yeah.
What is the advantage?
The advantage is, the firm, our firm has, 50 years experience, so you have, a lot of different clients we've worked with. that, with experience working with clients in various, states, our, state of Florida, throughout the country and world. And it's more of a proactive approach. We're year-round. We're not just, H&R Block where you go to April 15th and, file. That's a reactive approach because everything's already been done. You've already earned the money. This is, you have a relationship with somebody that is, it's like a doctor almost. You could spot things and stop it before it spreads. Bad things. So.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to wait till you have to give oxygen. You want to be proactive.
Yes.
And not only that, but you could tell after hearing me speak with Brett, that he takes a real personal interest. He's empathetic, he's sweet, he's kind. He wants you to have the best approach, the best, kind of chance at saving money, at spending money, at having money for retirement. And so, you want to develop a relationship with someone like Brett. So, Brett Landsman, this is your life.
Yeah.
No. What is your phone number that people can reach you at? How can people get you? How can people call you? How can they connect with you?
954 is the area code, 252-9622, and that's the office, our firm number, the main line, and you could ask to speak to me.
Yeah, so again, it's Brett Landsman. He's a CPA. He's in South Florida. He's here to help you. 954-252-9622. And we really wanted to present a show today where, you gained education, you gained knowledge, and we want you to feel comfortable that you can take care of your money. We want you to start to have a really good relationship with money because really that's part of happiness, as Brett said. It's part of happiness is really creating a good, healthy relationship with your spending, with your saving, and with learning how to deal with money. So, as you know, everything that you do is really in your hands. And even the money situation is in your hands. You know why? Because it all starts with you. And we will see you again next week.
Palermo, Landsman & Ross is a full-service tax and accounting firm located in Cooper City, Florida. For over 35 years, they have been assisting clients worldwide with solutions to assist clients with income tax planning, bookkeeping, consulting, and complex accounting issues. With constant tax law and rule changes, you need a competent, professional, and responsive accounting firm to have your back year-round. Please visit www.plrcpas.com to learn more about Palermo, Landsman & Ross and the services they offer.
Eileen Lemelman is a highly experienced licensed clinical social worker and psychotherapist, offering 30 years of insight into the healing of trauma, anxiety, and depression. With a patient and individualized approach tailored to every client's needs, Eileen leads her patients on a journey of self-discovery and healing, with the goal of ultimately achieving balance, joy, and fulfillment in life. No matter how old you are, it's never too late to live a passionate, happy life. Eileen is ready to support you on your journey to healing. Contact Eileen Lemelman today at 631-988-8453 to schedule your appointment today.
You're watching It All Starts With You with Eileen Lemelman. To join in the conversation, give us a call at 888-994-4995, Studio A. Now back to the show. So I'm sorry I confused you a little bit. We're not ending, we're actually continuing. We're going from financial health to body health and emotional health, and really, really learning how to care for our mind, body, and soul. Today's guest, I have another guest, and her name is Andrea Hammer. She's a certified fitness trainer along with a lot of other certifications, which she can talk about because when I was reading them, there was a lot of CFTs and blah, 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 blah. And I think we're going to have to let her tell us all the certifications she has. But all that means is that she is so qualified to help us feel good, to help us get in the best shape, to help us love our body, to help us have joy. That's a big thing for her. Joyful living. And so it is my pleasure to welcome Andrea Hammer to the show.
Thanks, Eileen. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Oh.
This is great. What an awesome studio.
Oh, move your hair.
And, gotta move my hair from my mic. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And, yeah, thank you for that great introduction. I do a lot of fun things.
Yeah.
We want to live our strongest, healthiest, most joyful life.
That's
and
right.
That's what I do.
I know. And you want women especially to really know that they can be strong, healthy, vibrant, and vital
Yes.
at any age.
At any age.
Right?
That
Which
is
is
true.
really so beautiful
Yeah.
and wonderful.
Yeah.
And you went from a corporate life
I did.
to this life.
Yes. Yeah.
How did that happen?
I was in mortgages for 20 years, finance, and I did love it. It was very wonderful to help people get a home instead of just buy a house and do the paperwork. So I truly enjoyed it, and it was lucrative for a very long time, and I really did love that part. Except when the mortgage crash happened in 2008, and then we went from like, where's all the money to like, where's the money, right? And it was very scarce and hard to do that. But all while I was doing mortgages, I always did fitness and health for fun, for free in my garage with all my equipment and self-defense and nutrition and a million things that I always loved to do.
The reason why I ask you that is because you were able to pivot. You were able to make that shift, which is really what I want that message to get out.
Yes.
That yes, bad thing happened. Stuff that you didn't plan on. The economy
tanked for everybody.
And so what am I going to do? Now you could have had this mindset of like, woe is me. I'm going to give up. I don't know what to do. But you were able to pivot and change.
Yeah, so this is why, because I always did stuff anyway for fun because I loved it. And then when it went south for the money, one of my girls that I would train for in the garage, she's like, here's some money because you're broke now. And I'm like, I'm not broke. Don't say that. I'm just in a lull right now. She goes, Andrea, skip the finance. This is what you should do. This is your passion. You love it. I've lost 40 pounds. I feel fantastic. My whole life is different. You need to go do this to help other people. And when she said that to me, I was like, oh my God.
A light bulb went on.
A light bulb went on because I always loved it anyway. I literally loved it. I did it because I loved it. I made enough money doing something else that I could do this for free because it was what I loved. And so then she says, quit doing it for free, make it your business, and go out there and serve other people and help transform their lives like you did me. And that really lit up a fire in me. And so I went and got a lot of different certifications: certified fitness trainer, health and wellness, fitness nutrition, life coaching, senior fit, weight management.
You see what I mean? There was a lot of certifications.
There's a lot. I did a lot of studying. I love the science. I love the science so I could know the most current and best information to help plan your transition and transformation into the from the caterpillar to the butterfly, and how you want to really thrive in your life. We are so busy slogging through it, just trying to make it and survive, instead of having radiant health and radiant living and radiant ideas and confidence and power, with unapologetically living big and large fabulously because you love your life and all that's in it. And that's why.
Well, it's true. We have to love everything in our life and embrace everything in our life.
Yeah.
But what about the woman who says, I am just too busy. I can't fit another thing into my life.
I hear it every day.
How do you deal, what do you say to them?
Yes.
And that's something that, people say that all the time, on these shows, right? How do you fit in time? But really
you can do a little bit everywhere you are. So sometimes when people say it's too busy to drive to the gym, park your car, put your stuff in the locker, go figure out what to do, and then do the exercise, take the shower, drive home, it's like the whole day, and that's why they don't have time. But you can do a minute or two, a few seconds here or there, a few reps everywhere you are. You can, do squats at the kitchen sink. You can stand on one leg while you brush your teeth. You can, do circles while you're waiting for your shower to warm up. You could be in your shower with your shampoo and your conditioner and squeeze this bottle and do, washing your hair, pull your elbows in, pull your back in. I mean, I know it's silly because I have this program that's 101 easy ways to exercise for the couch potato and the rest of you who have no time. That was what it is.
101 ways
to exercise that are a minute or two, a second or two, everywhere throughout your day. Because here's why it's important. It's important because you shake up the salad dressing bottle. When we sit sedentary, that's the new smoking, right? When you sit sedentary, everything gets scooped and gooped, collection and coagulation. And we're all stuck like glue. And when you are stuck in sludge is hard to budge. So I rather people do a little bit all day long, like every 30 minutes, stand up and do some jumping jacks or twist and shout, whatever, dance in your underwear. I don't care what it is. Vacuum your house, scrub your wax on, wax off as you clean. It doesn't matter. Do your laundry detergent bottles. It doesn't matter what it is that you lift something heavier than your fork or your toothbrush and get a little bit of heart rate going. Because when you shake up the salad dressing bottle with all the seasoning scooped and gooped on the bottom, you get circulation, you get blood flow, you get oxygen, your organs are, kicked in to start removing metabolic waste, you digest better, you eliminate better, you think better, you clear, more oxygen. Everything needs oxygen.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't have to be a set thing
that
you feel stuck with.
What we're talking about is movement. We have to move.
Yeah.
We have to move because otherwise we get stuck.
Right.
We get stuck in a rut. We get stuck in our,
That's
in our
when you gotta
negative
squeeze your
thoughts.
butt.
We get stuck in what, the ordinary, the mundane, and then we get, bored with life, and then before you know it, you're sitting in front of the TV, eating, chomping away.
As you're clicking through,
But
Netflix.
when we move, movement makes movement, and stationary makes stationary. That's Newton's law of physics.
Right.
A body in at rest stays at rest. A body in motion stays in motion.
Yeah.
And when we move, we got the energy going.
Yeah, that's all about the energy. But it isn't just physically for a bicep curl. It is for immune boosting, it's for better digestion, it's better sleep, it's better hormone balance, it's better cognitive thinking, it's better endorphins and your serotonin and your endorphins, your happy chemicals are stimulated, your oxytocin, your love chemical, because you're doing it together with somebody else who wants to exercise or be with you. There's so many more vibrant byproducts of exercise that transform all areas of your life, and you feel more in tune with your body, you feel more in tune with your spirit sense, you feel more in tune with the world, you just feel better. You feel better, you feel happier. Happiness is the answer, right? Because if I lost weight, I'd be happy. If I got married, I'd be happy. If I got a dog, I'd be happy. If I got a tennis place, I'd be happy. If you got a thing, you would be happy. It has to have an event. No. Happiness comes from within you just because you are alive and you're on this side of the grass and life is beautiful and the sun is shining and your eyes can see it and you can sleep good and have a good poop. I mean, seriously, these are things that internally, happiness comes from within. And when you feel strong and powerful, it feels great.
Let's just say this. A good poop is really important.
It is, and funny enough, you're going to laugh at this because no other trainer I've ever heard them say this, but I teach poop class. I know it's funny, but when you are stuck with toxins, it's terrible, and you're stuck and you have 20 feet of poop pipe, literally. It's a sewer waste dump in there, and if you don't clean that out, toxicity builds up, your immune system is shot, and bad stuff happens from there. So really how to eliminate things at, good elimination system and digestion and utilization of those nutrients. We need to understand how food works, how your body digests it, how your body turns the food into energy, and how the energy uses functional material and the function itself to get you up and going, right?
True.
And get your brain going. So there's a whole
what you said about standing at the sink and lifting one leg and or doing this as you're waiting for the shower to get hot. That's something I tell my patients, that you don't have to, because if you set it up that you have to do a 5-mile run right away, you're not going to sustain that. You're not going to do it. Maybe you'll do it once, maybe you'll do it twice, but you're not going to sustain it. But if you set the bar really low,
well, you can't mess it up. Here's how I set the bar. what's the most fun you can do? It has to be fun. If you hate it, you're not going to do it. So I don't care what it is that you want to do it for 10 seconds first. And then you're going, oh, 10 seconds, that's so silly. I go, yeah, it's silly. That's why you can do it. Then 20 seconds, then 30 seconds. And then if you can continue on, then you do it. And then do it tomorrow for 30 seconds. Fitness, food, and feeling good, 3 minutes of each thing every day. And then that cumulatively, these tiny little things you do make a ginormous change in results. So small things, cumulative, huge results. And fitness, food, and feeling good. That's my protocol. So for fitness, what can you do today that you
Fitness, food,
and feeling good?
and
That's my
feeling good.
Yeah, I write
like
a
that.
newsletter once a month about that. So if you want that, let me know. You put you on my list. But it's really a
Well, how
wonderful
can everybody
newsletter.
get on your list?
Send me your email, sign up, and email me at Andrea@hammerhealthandfitness.com. You can do that. But
that'll be
Fitness,
up
Food,
there.
and Feeling Good is about how you can do one thing better today than yesterday, and one little less bad thing today than yesterday, and repeat tomorrow. It's just that it's that simple. So like for
Yeah.
fitness, I start with the alphabet because everybody knows the alphabet. So for A, what can you do that's A for day? So either your arms or your ass. I don't know if I can say that on TV, right?
Yes,
or your
you can.
abs, right?
They say a lot worse
then
on
eat
TV.
some A foods, apples, avocado, asparagus, arugula, right?
Oh,
Add that
I
into your
love
diet.
that.
And then your A for feeling good could be, what's your word? Achievement, being
Accomplished.
accomplished, accountable.
Yeah.
Pick a word and live that day, and you do it for a week, and then the next week you pick B, and you can work your biceps or your butt, and you do beans, you could do, broccoli, whatever you want, and then, you could be brave to this, you have to get up and make a speech somewhere, or you have to go and travel by yourself, or you have to do something, be brave. So I tell them to pick each week, because if you do it a little bit somewhere in your life, can you eat some blueberries today? If you can do that, great, it's off your list. But little by little, what happens is the transformation in your daily habits. Because it's so fun and easy and silly, it's not hard to do them.
So
and
let's
become
hold that
thing
for a minute.
you.
Transformation of daily habits.
Yes.
Let's hold that
Right.
thought, and we're going to go to commercial. And when we come back, we're going to talk about transformation of daily habits and more with Andrea Hammer.
Palermo, Landsman and Ross is a full-service tax and accounting firm located in Cooper City, Florida. For over 35 years, they have been assisting clients worldwide with solutions to assist clients with income tax planning, bookkeeping, consulting, and complex accounting issues. With constant tax law and rule changes, you need a competent, professional, and responsive accounting firm to have your back year-round. Please visit www.plrcpas.com to learn more about Palermo, Landsman, and Ross and the services they offer.
Eileen Lemelman is a highly experienced licensed clinical social worker and psychotherapist, offering 30 years of insight into the healing of trauma, anxiety, and depression. With a patient and individualized approach tailored to every client's needs, Eileen leads her patients on a journey of self-discovery and healing, with the goal of ultimately achieving balance, joy, and fulfillment in life. No matter how old you are, it's never too late to live a passionate, happy life. Eileen is ready to support you on your journey to healing. Contact Eileen Lemelman today at 631-988-8453 to schedule your appointment today.
You're watching It All Starts With You with Eileen Lemelman. To join in the conversation, give us a call at 888-994-4995, Studio A. Now back to the show. Wow, today's show has been amazing. We started off with Brett Landsman of Palermo, Landsman and Ross talking about financial health, the quality of our life with being able to manage money in healthy ways. And now we have Andrea Hammer, who's talking about physical health, mind, body, and soul. How can we get moving? How can we take little steps that will make us feel accomplished in life? Little steps that will really just fill the cup of health and wellness and joyful living. And so that's what we're doing here with Andrea Hammer. And I want to talk to you. Well, we ended with transformation, but I want to talk to you about your product that you developed, because that is really a game changer,
It's a game changer.
that product.
Yes.
So talk to us about and how easy it is and how portable it is and how much, you can really do with that product.
Yes. Well, the product is called the Max Pack, Maximum Power and Core, and this is just the small one. There's two bigger sizes that are 16 pounds and 24 pounds that you can stand on, squat on, row them, throw them.
And how much is that?
This one's 8 pounds. So they're in 8-pound increments instead of 5, 10, 15. So they're a little bit more challenging. People think this looks like a little red pillow, but it is heavy and dense. But the difference is, when I've been training at the gym.
Not too heavy.
Not too heavy. Well, as they get bigger, they're different. But
Yeah.
Through all the metal in the gym, the weight plates, the dumbbells, the kettlebells, the clinking, the iron, the metal, I wanted something new and different and innovative that was not metal, but that you could grip into, the squeeze. The grip in it immediately, I don't know if you can see my forearm, but that's my index finger, my middle finger, my ring finger. Look at the muscular contraction that's happening in my arm, and then it transfers through the back of the body, through the shoulder, immediately as soon as you pick it up. And that's when you're already fired up from the squeeze and the grip, and there's multiple ways to grip it and hundreds of exercises to do individually or in combination with all the other ones. For beginning, intermediate, advanced, and military level, I have trademarked them, I've patented them, I've sold them to the Pentagon, schools and gyms and rehabs and clinics and doctor's office, yoga, Pilates. It's a portable punching bag if you do martial arts. They're safe, they're effective, they're hypoallergenic. You can clean them off with some soapy water and 409 and they're shiny and new again. And if you don't have a pit bull bite into them, they'll probably last you the rest of your life. And they're safe for your toes. They won't break your toes or your tile or your wood floors if you drop them. And
So you said you have hundreds of exercises.
Hundreds and hundreds of exercises.
So can
and
people
so many
do this on their
combinations.
own, or do they need to come to you to have, instructions?
Well, I'd love for them to come for me to have instruction, but yes, I have a lot of exercises already on the maxpac.com, MAXPAC. The MaxPac stands for Maximum Power and Core, because your core is used in every single exercise. And even though you move the MaxPac in your hand with a sandwich grip, a pizza press, a taco shell, looks like a taco shell, right? Or a pancake
You're making
press,
us hungry.
right? They're all like foods because people can remember them. And you have
Yes.
to work this hard to get those foods off. It's kind of funny. There's more grips and more different exercises, hundreds of things to do. But the whole program is because you have an immediate muscle activation of multiple muscles all at once. So like, for example, when people have a dumbbell and they do, say, 20 reps, most of the time they pull and plop and pull and plop, and you lose 50% of the exercise in the plop. And they use a sway or whatever with the momentum to help lift it up. But with the MaxPac, it's 100% muscle movement and zero momentum. So that when you pull
You're really
up,
just using
you're
the
using
muscle.
100% of that muscle,
Yes.
and then all your stabilizing muscles to hold you while you do it. So there's a principle involved of 100% muscle movement throughout the entire body while you use multiple muscles at once.
I have a question for you. So can you give us one, I call it case study, you might just call it, a client, who you saw the most amazing transformation using the MaxPac and
Yeah.
all of your,
Yeah.
kind of.
Every client has, but a few of them really stand out, and so I'll let you pick. I've had a past, military veteran from Vietnam who had PSTD. I had a senior woman who was 300 and something pounds and was on like 42 medications, and then I had a teenager who was 5 feet tall and 180 pounds with poor self-esteem, being in middle school, and nobody was nice to her because she was
And so what happened?
roly-poly.
But
So
through
all
your
three of them,
instruction
through
and-
all of them have had massive transformations and life-changing results from working out, and
because some
the
people
program,
feel
the whole
like
program.
it's hopeless.
It's
they
never
feel
hopeless. It's never hopeless. That's a belief, and this is the number one thing too with my coaching program, Happy Life Coach. I've got a registration, patent on that, a trademark on that. If you believe in negative things happen. You believe in positive things happen, and there, in my belief, always, it's never hopeless. You can always, I don't care what it is, you can always make one thing better today than yesterday, just even by thinking, I'm going to start today and I'm going to be brave and I'm going to try. That's a better thought that creates better energy to be the impetus to move you forward. If you believe it's hopeless and you don't think it's going to happen and you're going to hide under your covers, then that's the life you choose. And it's really sad because life is wonderful and beautiful and amazing out there, and you could have a giant chunk of it in any way that you want to creatively make it be your life or not. And that's the choice of living.
Yeah.
Living or slogging through.
Well,
And
yeah, you're
so-
saying if you want to make a choice
Yeah.
to live,
really be vibrant
yeah,
and
to
radiant
live,
health,
yes.
not just like slogging through yucky, but really radiant health where you love your life and all that's in it. And it's available. Everybody's born with a beautiful gift God gave you, every single person. And your real job, besides whatever your occupation is that makes you money, the real job is to love your life and find out what that golden nugget thing is, yum it up, make it great, and put it out and serve the world with it. Do something amazing, live a life of significance, make yourself be known, and
Well, maybe,
just
listen,
out
somebody
there in
might,
some way.
somebody who's watching might not want to make a life of significance and get their voice out there because they're feeling low and they're feeling,
at
really.
that moment.
Yeah.
Doesn't
But
mean you need to stay there.
exactly.
And even if it's a
s-
small shift in consciousness, that you feel better, that you go out and enjoy your life in the world in any way better than not, that's better.
Yeah.
It's better.
I know. I deal with a lot of patients who come to me, rather overweight. They feel really dark, very hopeless.
Yep,
And they're
I know that.
scared
Yep.
to make that change. They're scared to reach out. But look at the support. Look at the people here that can really be part of your community.
yeah.
How do you make it a community?
I speak to the sparkles in people, really. The life force that's in you behind this human machinery your soul lives in and runs around on the planet, there is a specialness of every person. And I find that. And I find that in all the people that are surrounding me and in my life. And I utilize all those resources of whatever your gifts are that my client might need as a extra support system for them in all the different areas that they might need it. So say for Brett, if people need financial instruction on how to save and invest and build a portfolio, to understand their money, Brett would be great. If I need a psychologist with somebody who needs to have those dark spots talked to and worked out, that's great. If I need to have somebody who needs medical advice that's on a really personal medical level, then I have resources for physicians.
Yes.
So all the best people who have all the wonderful knowledge that could cumulatively aid in whatever the thing that it is. My specialty, of course, is fitness and nutrition and life coaching
Yes.
and weight management and how to plan meals, shop for meals, prepare meals,
So how
and
are they
enjoy
gonna-
life's foods without
Yes.
feeling guilty about eating
love
them.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love you speak to the sparkles in
I
people.
speak to the
I
sparkles.
love that. So speak to the sparkles and tell them how they can reach you, how they can connect with you, because you have something special to really offer them. You
Thank
have
you.
a special light, you have a special excitement, and you're going to be exactly where they are
Yes.
and work with
meet
them
you
at
exactly
their
where you
level.
are. Your needs at your
Yes.
speed.
So
Yes.
your needs at your speed. So where can they reach you, Andrea?
My company is Hammer Health and Fitness, and my product is the Max Pack, which came out of all my years of training. And you can email me, Andrea, Andrea, at Hammer Health and Fitness, AND Fitness.com, and you can reach me 954-270-1870, 954-270-1870.
Wow. We
Yeah.
had quite an amazing show today.
Yeah.
I want to thank the two people that really made a difference today. Not only for me, because they offered so much education, so much knowledge. And guess what? I feel so energized by being with these two people. And I hope you did too. I hope that you're going to take steps towards your financial health, reach out to Brett Landsman, and also your physical health. And take that step and be brave and really know that you matter. Because you know what?
You do.
It all starts with you. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Have a great week. And that's all for today. Join us next time as we create a community that helps you feel accepted for being yourself, giving and receiving unconditional support for each other as we connect and inspire one another. And remember, it all starts with you.